In this video, I would like to share with you something which I call a discovery. This discovery could be of value to someone who's fighting cancer or to someone who would like to prevent cancer. I would like to make a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, so do not believe anything that I say until you check the links in the description to this video. When I made this discovery back in May, I laughed at myself. How could George from Prague, the Czech Republic, with yellow glasses on, just by thinking and clicking on the internet, find something that kills cancer cells? First, I shared this discovery with few of my friends, hoping that they would point out something that I overlooked, but they didn't find anything. Then I downloaded several scientific studies from the internet, but they also confirmed my discovery. Then I contacted one of the co-authors of one of the studies, Dr. Jocelyn Tan. I wrote her over Facebook telling her about my discovery, asking her if I'm overlooking something or if this discovery could help. Dr. Tan reconfirmed my discovery and agreed to do an interview. You can find the link to the whole 55-minute interview in the description of this video. Everything I'm going to tell you about my discovery now was reconfirmed by Dr. Tan during our interview. So let me now present the discovery. In order to understand how cancer works, we first have to understand how a healthy human cell works. Based on today's diet, the healthy cell gets its energy mainly from glucose. It uses this energy to fulfill its collective duties in the body. The human cell has also an algorithm, which at a certain point of the life of the cell turns on the process of dying. It's called apoptosis. On the other side, we have the cancer cell. It also consumes glucose, but it gives up on its collective duties and it uses its energy solely to get more glucose to grow and to bypass the algorithm of dying. So the process of apoptosis never starts in a cancer cell. And since the cancer cell has the same DNA as the human body, the immune system ignores the cancer cell. Therefore, the cancer cell is invincible. Another new piece of information I learned was how complicated human metabolism is. I saw a simple sheet of paper full of lines which depicted a simplified model of metabolic pathways. The problem with treating cancer is that every time you close off one pathway through which cancer is getting glucose, it always finds another pathway. That's the reason why curing cancer is so hard. Cancer cell can be viewed as a master in getting glucose because since it doesn't have any collective responsibility, it solely concentrates on getting glucose only, and therefore cancer cell always gets the glucose first ahead of the healthy cell, which has the collective duties. I also learned that there's a source of energy that is being preferred by the healthy cell over glucose, and it's also a source of energy that a cancer cell cannot process. This source of energy is called ketone. To process ketone, a more complicated chemical reaction is needed, and a primitive cell such as the cancer cell cannot generate more complicated chemical reaction. Thus, cancer cell cannot consume ketone. This is the reason why keto diet is being recommended during cancer treatment. Because during keto diet, you increase the amount of ketones in your body and you lower down the amount of glucose in your body. Thus, the cancer cells should have less energy when there's less glucose and more ketones. Keto diet helps during treatment and prevention of cancer because cancer cells cannot process ketones. It is solely my opinion that keto diet can help. However, when you consume keto diet, you are still getting some glucose into your body, and we know that cancer cell is the master of getting glucose in any circumstances. It is my opinion that keto diet can slightly help when treating cancer or preventing cancer, but when you have keto diet, you always consume some glucose, and as I said earlier, cancer always gets glucose first ahead of the healthy cell. So any glucose that goes in goes first to the cancer cell, and that's why I think keto diet is not as effective. Keto diet helps treating and preventing Alzheimer's because the ketone molecule is smaller than the glucose molecule. When the brain is being powered by glucose, glucose doesn't get everywhere, and the areas which are being left out are the areas that eventually develop Alzheimer's or where epilepsy or stroke can happen. I found very interesting charts that show brain scans when the brain is powered by glucose and when brain is powered by ketones. That's why ketone-flooded brain has a lower risk of having Alzheimer's, epilepsy, or stroke. It is my opinion that in the case of Alzheimer's, epilepsy, and stroke, keto diet can definitely help. As I was reading about the keto diet, which is basically a method how to increase ketones and lower glucose in your body, I remembered the 7th day of my water-only fast as I'm holding a test strip in my hand, and it showed that my Glucose was absolute zero, and ketones were out of the roof, off the charts. In that moment, I realized that after the 7th day, my body entered a super keto state, where my body is getting the ketones from its fat storage and has no glucose because I'm not consuming any food and I drink water only. This means that during this keto state, I created an environment in my body where cancer cells have absolutely nothing to consume, but healthy cells have a lot of energy, and it's also a preferred energy. There was one more question to answer, and that question was, how long can a human cell last without any energy? I knew that the lifespan of a human cell was anywhere from 1 day, the cells in your intestines, all the way up to your whole life, the cells in your eyes. The average life of a human cell is 9 years, but the human body can also live for 75 years, but if you deprive someone of air, they will die within 10-20 minutes. And that's why the answer to this question was important. If a cancer cell can last without any energy for 6 months, then the fact that I drink water only for 14 days will have no effect on it. I tried to find this information until a friend doctor of mine recommended to look at a state called hypoglycemia. During this state, there is no glucose and no ketones in the body. So the state of hypoglycemia simulates the situation when there is no energy for the cells within the system. And at that moment, I remembered when I was in elementary school, they always taught me that when this happens, that you have to give sugar to the person as soon as possible, because they start passing out within 5 to 10 minutes if they don't get the sugar. And if they still don't get the sugar within 10 to 20 minutes, first cells start dying. So what does this mean? That this is actually my discovery. That if you drink water only, and within 7 days you enter full ketosis, if you stay in this state for 7 days, 14 days, I did 2 water fasts. One was 50 days and one was 41 days. It can be done for some time, of course, based on your initial body fat reserves. So when you stay in this state, super flood your whole system with ketones and eliminate glucose. If I know that without energy, human cell is being affected within 20 minutes, then if I can stay in this super keto state for 7 days or 2 weeks, I know that I would severely affect cancer cells. Also, this method can be used as a prevention. If I do this once every 6 months or once a year or once every 2 years, I can kill off any cancer cells that would not show up on any scans or would probably break out in 10 or 20 years. Same goes with Alzheimer's, epilepsy, and stroke. If I do this regularly, this should work as a perfect prevention to these diseases. Where to go from here? I would like you to go through the links in the description of this video. I would like you to share this video because I believe that even if this doesn't work, the information in this video should be heard by everyone. And if it works, you can actually save a life by sharing this video. It could lead to someone doing a serious scientific study on this issue. Because I think it would be absurd that George from Prague, the Czech Republic, with yellow glasses on, would push this method by himself. So thank you very much and take care.